trailer maybe a couple days ago, but today we are reacting to the brand new breakdown videos. One just came out yesterday. The other one just came out literally 20 minutes ago, at least from the time I'm watching it. The first one, though, is by Dangerville, and it is the entire breakdown. Like I said, this is just the first one. Then we got Goji Center with the second breakdown. I don't want to miss anything. You know what I'm saying? I want to see everything that everybody has to say.
A good glimpse of what we can expect in Godzilla Kong.
Let me know in the comments, how excited are you? Scale of 1 to 100. 1 to 100, let me know.
There is just so much to cover here.
101?
I don't even know where to start.
That's me.
Get a better look at the leading alpha titans, as
I'm
well
hyped,
as the antagonist, the Scar King.
I know we covered a lot in our sort of breakdown,
gigantic world-ending threat,
but they've had more time to look at it.
And there's even some secrets.
So I want to see the secrets
on your first viewings. We even get a brand new poster, which we'll take a close
That was
look
my
at the end
thumbnail
of
the other day.
Breakdown. So buckle yourselves in. Let's break down Godzilla.
All right, here we go.
Second trailer.
Hey, let me know if you guys notice anything that they didn't cover, by the way. Let's get it.
Continuing what we saw in that first trailer, where Kong's new cyborg hand reaches out from a newly emerged Hollow Earth tunnel. We hear Dr. Eileen Andrews returning from Godzilla.
That's where I thought Shima was.
And in the background, we can hear her saying, "For centuries, there was harmony." Obviously,
that poor camel, by the way, in the bottom right.
Species. Next up, we get some crispy-looking water, which just looks so good I could drink it. The water physics in all these MonsterVerse films has been nothing short of incredible.
I'm so excited, man.
We can see it's actually Godzilla in his evolved
destruction
form that we'll see change throughout the film. His magenta dorsal plates piercing the water, and then the camera submerges.
He could have just went under the water. He didn't have to destroy the bridge, by the way.
Face, with his eyes glowing in the deep water, looking super menacing.
It looks
the
so good,
Titans
dude.
were the guardians of nature, and the great apes were the protectors of humanity, says Dr. Andrews, as we get this beautiful shot of Kong reaching out to Gia in a similar way to Godzilla vs. Kong. And they both appear to be in the Hollow Earth, since we can see the crystals that were spotted in that first trailer. Kong's looking really exhausted here.
So far, we haven't missed anything.
Closely, his right hand is all bloody and mangled.
Okay, I missed that.
This appears to be shortly after he gets his kicked
I
by
didn't
the
even notice
Scar
that.
King, and Gia has come to comfort him, which is just really touching. I'm of course happy
he does
the
look
film
very
is gonna
tired
be
there.
ridiculous and action-packed, but I'm also happy it's going to have these nice, smaller emotional moments.
Yeah, that's
Next up,
nice.
we get a scene of Gia in class, but the light is warping around her as she begins to have visions.
I think this is where I missed the Mothra scene.
Be a psychic.
I'm sure he'll explain
the
it.
MonsterVerse equivalent.
When it kept
Ash
flashing
falling
very
around
fast.
her, and the clocks begin to distort before making the shape of 3 pyramids and showing us all the mayhem that's about to unfold.
Yeah, it was that scene with the eyeball. That's the one I missed.
We actually get our first official look at Shimo as it'll appear in the film.
There's Shimo.
And it is huge.
Is he not going to cover Mothra?
Just look at it compared to evolved Godzilla. This battle looks
Did he miss that too?
Absolute chaos. And in Gia's eyes,
okay, never mind. He did not.
A faint glimpse of Mothra.
There you go.
Looking even more angelic than ever before. Because of these visions,
okay, that's the one I missed.
Something is wrong with her, seeking guidance from Dr. Andrews. The 3 pyramids from her vision clearly is leading them to the pyramids of Giza. But what is the significance? Perhaps Scar King's lair is directly under the pyramids.
That camel,
Since
bro.
It looks like Kong is
was in the
running
wrong
from
place.
Shimo through to Egypt. Next up, we hear Dr. Andrews again, which seems to be the voice of God for these new Empire trailers, saying Monarch discovered a signal and that Gia can feel it, as well as Godzilla and
Gia's a
Kong.
savage.
And that
see, what is he? Is he looking at Shimo? I think that's what he's looking at.
Close up of Kong by the ocean.
He's looking straight up, bro.
Passes over him. I can't imagine this is Godzilla or Scar King.
Gotta be Shimo.
Nothing is that big. And
Shimo's apparently
too early in the film for this to be an encounter with Shimo.
Okay, apparently not.
Be Trapper delivering the Beast Glove to Kong. Since we see
that
a
could
shot
be that
later
too.
on of Trapper in some kind of flying heavy equipment. Next up, we get
could
this
be that
epic shot of Godzilla glowing blue.
Bro, Godzilla
this
looks so sick there.
He's begun to evolve, and his body is telling him to find somewhere to hibernate. Or this could be his most intense intimidation display, as he knows what's coming. Next up, we see Andrews.
I like that he has
Monarch,
the atomic pulse in this movie too.
An even more neon makeover, where she invites
it's been a minute since
Trapper
we've seen
to
that.
join them on a trip to the Hollow Earth, and Trapper just seems like such a joy.
You feel like going for a ride? Thought you'd never ask.
Dan Stevens has such
He does seem like a
charisma to
fun
the roles
character.
he plays, so I can't wait to see what he brings to the MonsterVerse. Next up, we get a better look at the new Heave, which looks to be a bit more bug-like now, which could be deliberate to blend in with the Hollow Earth Titans. And we were
Makes
right
sense.
in assuming that this was a Hollow Earth tunnel.
Exactly.
Try not to swallow your tongue.
Because the last time we just saw it was,
real,
you know,
hold on
just
to
the
your
water.
butts energy right there. I love it. And then we see Kong jumping straight into the tunnel like a kid cannonballing into a swimming pool. And then we get another opportunity for Warner Bros. To make a Godzilla Kong theme park ride. There was that awesome set piece in Godzilla
I'm
vs.
down with
Kong.
that.
Now this. Make it happen, Warner Bros.
Yes,
I will
please.
give you approximately 20 pounds.
I'll give you whatever you charge for the ride. I'll ride the ride, for sure.
Clips we saw in that first trailer where Kong meets Zuko, which
Zuko!
looks to do some bad things that we'll actually see later in the trailer. But next
My boy's
up,
a
we get
savage.
something really interesting. Trapper presses on a wall of some kind.
That's the thing
which
that
appears
Godzilla's
to be
in, right?
Fleshy.
I
and it
think.
begins to illuminate a bright blue. Now this could be the cocoon of Godzilla, since it's
That's what I
blue,
thought. I mean,
but
look at it.
Could also be Mothra.
Could be
since she
Mothra.
had a very
Didn't think
similar
about that.
cocoon in 2019. The trailer doesn't really hint towards what it is, but I'm willing to
See,
bet
I
that it's
like that
some
the
titan
trailer
that's
doesn't
hibernating.
give everything
Trapper
away,
says
like
it's
most
not just a
trailers
signal,
do.
That's a call for war. As we see Kong turn around,
Shows the
to
characters,
face
doesn't
the
show too
mighty
much.
Scar
We still
King,
really don't know
who
what
just
Shimo looks like
so
from like an
terrifying.
HD perspective.
And we get a glimpse at
I
some
like
other
that.
of Kong's species, and it appears that some are submissive to Scar, whilst others actively support him. We can see some Kongs are beating the war drums, and some are bowing in submission. Some of these Kongs will be Scar's right-hand men. His
Bro,
apex
Scar looks
team
like a
of hunters
savage.
that he trusts and uses to keep the others in line. Scar jumps down to face this new Kong that has yet to be branded with his red mark, symbolizing
Dude,
that
I'm
he
so
owns
excited
the
for this movie,
Titans.
man. March
They both
29th.
face
I'm
off,
in there.
roaring at one another before charging, and immediately Kong gets his handed to him. Scar wraps the whip around Kong's hand and cuts him, and Kong screams in pain. It appears that at the end of the spine whip,
Yeah,
there
what
is
is
a
the spike on that
crystal
thing?
that
It looks
may
like
have
the
some relation to the
Shimo
giant
crystal,
formations
maybe?
we saw
Or maybe
earlier
that
in
thing,
the
I don't know.
trailer. Clearly, this is a
I think it
weakness
might
for
be something
Titans,
off of Shimo, you
almost
know what I'm
being
saying?
Kind of kryptonite
I think that's what it
that
is.
Scar uses against his enemies. But then we see Kong looking at something with more fear.
Kong
than
looks,
even
bro.
he gave
Kong
Godzilla.
looks
And
very
then the
scared
camera
there.
pushes through the lava to see Shimo with bright glowing eyes, watching Kong's every move. And then Kong quickly grabs his axe to defend himself before Shimo fires an intense blast of
The ice
breath,
beam, bro?
which looks to overpower Kong. Following this, Kong likely realizes he's outmatched and retreats
So
from
sick,
the
man.
fight after receiving critical injuries.
Yeah,
And we
that's
get
probably
that
where we
great
got
shot
that
of
scene.
Godzilla and Kong running side by side, returning to show the Scar King what a real Apex Titan is.
Let's
Next
go!
up, we get this beautiful shot of Rio de Janeiro.
Yep, there's
getting
Shimo
a
in the
dash
background.
Of snow,
You see, they don't give
something
you
it
too much.
never gets.
You can't
And if
really
we
see
zoom in,
Shimo.
You can
see him a little
Shimo
bit.
standing upright, firing into the sky.
Oh, he
which
looks-
is likely how he
even from
manipulates
this,
the weather. I
that
love
looks sick.
that some Titans appear to represent different elements. Ghidorah is electricity, Godzilla is water and radiation, Kong is earth, Mothra is light, and Shimo is ice. Either way, Rio is getting flattened. Sorry, Brazil. We even get this lovely perspective shot of buildings
Dang.
exploding around civilians, which just looks incredible.
It looks so good. The
This
detail
right
in this
here
movie,
is
man.
what we flock to Godzilla films to see.
Exactly.
Now, we get a real interesting shot here because we can actually see Godzilla firing at Kong.
I was confused
I thought
about
they were
this.
meant to be friends now. Clearly, they still
Not
are gonna
friends,
have
they're like
some
frenemies.
misunderstandings
You know what I'm
in the
saying?
Film that they're gonna have to settle.
Friends,
and in
but
the
not.
shot, we can see Godzilla is just full on blowing up the pyramids, which I guess throws out Egypt's plans on rebuilding the marble casing. Trapper is overheard
Yep.
as he's
Here
dangling
goes
from
that.
what I believe is the heavy lifting equipment that was used to build Kong's new Beast Glove, saying they don't have to like each other, they just have to work together, which I'm pretty sure is the tagline for the film. Now we get a bad shot of Kong in either Morocco or Brazil, lunging forwards at the Scar King. And in the shot,
Bro,
in
okay,
the
I didn't know
corner,
this was his
we can
tooth
see
that he
none
knocked
other
out,
than
by the way.
Shimo, just kind of chilling. Get it? Because
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
the best
frost
scene
titan,
that they
like,
saw.
chilling. He's like cold, like he's
Of Shimo.
He's just chilling. laugh. Please laugh.
That's the best I got. That's the best I got. Sorry.
Likely being distracted by Godzilla, who is also in the battle somewhere.
This scene right here where he punches him.
So angry here. Well, we can actually see.
I didn't know that was his tooth. Y'all told me in the comments. I thought it was a claw.
At this moment, Scar knew he effed up because Kong beats down on Scar so hard that even his tooth comes out.
See, I did not. I thought it was a claw.
This next shot.
That tooth is crazy looking.
This next shot. Words cannot describe how much I love this. We're still getting good Godzilla versus the military action in this, as the G-Man looks to be coming ashore by some kind of power plant, possibly radioactive, as he's searching
maybe it's
for
helping him
food source
evolve.
to help evolve.
There you go.
You aren't ready for this. Just wait for it. Boom! Ooh. Yes, we get a nuclear pulse, not the thermonuclear kind from King of the Monsters. This one is all natural.
It looks so good, too.
It just looks epic. The difference from this and the 2019 one is likely that this is slightly weaker.
Yeah, the thermal one's definitely strong.
Since the 2019 one was so powerful, it would have killed him if it wasn't for Mothra giving him a way to ventilate the radiation.
That's true.
In the next scene, we get a close look at the Hollow Earth civilization bowing their heads, potentially to the emergence of Mothra, who is being reborn to help Godzilla and
that would
Kong
make sense there, because the eyeball, that scene.
And we see the walls glimmering a beautiful gold
color.
Oh
yeah, 100%. That's Mothra.
This Mothra will be a royal gold, shining like the sun, instead of the more blue bioluminescence.
Imagine they bring in like a second monster towards the end. That'll lead up to another movie.
Kong's face, who was likely one of Scar's right-hand men, set out by the Scar King to capture him and bring him back to captivity.
Let's go.
This looks to be set in the anti-gravity zone of the Hollow Earth, so I really hope we get a Godzilla fight in this zero-G area. Come on, you cowards. You know what to do.
Oh, you gotta do it, bro.
Kong getting the
gotta do the atomic breath fly.
For the first time, with Beast standing for Bioenhanced Anatomic Seismic Thunder.
The gloves are savage.
Likely get some form of lightning ability, which you kind of get a small glimpse of later.
Yeah, when he punches
trailer.
the building. Yep.
And I hope this doesn't just replace his axe, because this is cool, but that's iconic.
The axe is cool.
This is brilliant, but I like this.
Following this, we see Scar wrapping his whip around a building before tearing it off and throwing it at Kong. Now, who cares about physics, man? Because this is just epic.
Yeah, physics. It's a fiction movie. No, who cares?
Power glove to punch straight through the oncoming skyscraper, and he looks ready to give Scar King the beating he deserves. And the final shot of the trailer is this epic moment between Godzilla and Kong as they roar into the sky.
I don't think I missed anything here, right?
A little scrap in Egypt. Since
like I said, we got Goji Center's video after this one. We're gonna see if he's got any new information.
Some people saying they believe
that
the sun
missed
is actually Mothra, and that they're hiding it just for the trailer, which
might not
be the worst tinfoil hat theory I've heard.
Could just be the sun, though. Who knows?
Godzilla just looks so good. His waist doesn't look nearly as bad or skinny as the promotional toys. He looks big and bulky.
Nah, he looks like a savage,
which I love. And then we get the title card: Godzilla Kong: The New Empire, coming March 29th.
March 29th.
This trailer it's just amazing.
I'm in there.
It gave us a better look at what.
Are you going to see it on the first day? Let me know in the comments.
The Titans and what
I might try to get in the day before.
The visual effects are improved.
Somehow.
Some of the music sounds beastly, and it does seem to confirm some of our theories from a while ago. This does appear to be a tragedy, as we see some Titans are enslaved, and they almost see Kong as their champion.
Good old Scar King.
But it's not going to be an easy journey for him. All the scenes just look spectacular.
All of them look
really
good.
A step up
if you have a complaint,
Godzilla versus Kong.
Just don't.
Tonally,
I don't know.
This looks to be much tighter overall. Embracing some of the campiness.
I think everything looks good. Could be a little biased,
though. That's really what Adam Wingard excels at, and I cannot wait to see more of Trapper. He seems like such a delight to watch. Now, this isn't the only thing that was revealed today, but a brand new poster was shown off, which is just
my thumbnail
so
for the other day
better than that first one, where now we get this excellent
that poster
scene of
is
Godzilla
sick.
And Kong lunging into battle. Far better than them just standing there for no reason. This really feels like a buddy cop movie poster where the two leads have to learn to get along.
That's
It's
beautiful.
almost become a running gag for these posters to massively overscale the Titans. Because look at that, they're taller than the clouds, and the helicopters are just microscopic.
It's supposed to, though. It's supposed to look sick.
They've been doing this since 2014, and it's just so funny to me.
I like it.
So that's been trailer 2 and the new poster for Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. This
so
looks
hype.
so epic. I'm even more hyped than I was before.
All right,
There's
guys.
so much to look forward to.
It's time. March
I cannot
29th.
wait for March 29th.
We're going to
What
the
was
next
your
video
favorite
now.
part of the trailer?
We got
Let us
Goji
know
Center.
in
And we're going to see if he got anything that, you know, we may have missed. I don't really know. Let's find out.
Boy, do
I like
we
the
have a
Shimo
lot
eyes to the
cover
logo. That was
today.
sick. Okay.
Trailer 2
That was
Godzilla
sick.
Kong is out, revealing the answer to many unanswered
Let's see.
questions we had before.
Did we miss
This
anything
breakdown
here?
will be jumping around different clips of the trailer. So much was revealed here, in fact, that we're going to drop a potential spoiler warning. That
Ooh.
said, let's get right to the
Okay.
beginning.
Maybe we
where
did
we
miss
are
something.
taken to Egypt, more specifically Giza, where there seems to be a portal to the Hollow Earth here as well.
We had to
Blue
see
hues
those
here
poor
may be
llamas
caused
again.
by Hollow Earth
Llama.
phenomena,
Camel.
perhaps even
Did I
a
say
titan
llama?
like
I meant
Shimo or
camel.
Godzilla. But for now, put a tab on these pyramids because it seems like these are sort of a big deal as well.
It might be
You'll
a big
see
deal. Look at the
why in a
camels. Look at the
little
bottom
bit.
right.
Up next, we find clips
R.I.P.
of an already evolved Godzilla showcasing his trademark maneuver known as a dorsal slice.
Dorsal
Seen in Godzilla
slice,
vs.
okay.
Kong, now tearing through small bridges with people on them.
Yeah, why
Now,
did he
our
do
best
that?
guess here is that this takes place somewhere in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
He didn't have to
after
do all
Godzilla
that.
underwent
Look, he
some
even
sort of
went
evolution
underwater
in his
again.
ice cave scene in the previous trailer. Note that this pink hue now suggests Godzilla is more radioactive, thus more powerful. And
I like that.
throughout the trailer, he seems pretty.
He does
Especially
seem a
here,
little
now that
angry.
he's slicing through bridges and civilians alike. This is really cool.
R.I.P.
But
to the
what is
people.
said in the trailer during these sequences is even more interesting.
The Titans were the guardians of nature,
We didn't see this one. Hold up.
and the great apes became the protectors of humanity.
Finally, we have some deep lore talking about the history
The
of
lore, I
Titans,
like it.
referred to as the guardians of nature, and the great apes as protectors of humanity.
We could
Okay,
use
so
some
if you saw
guardians
the
of
previous
nature in the
trailer,
real world, you
already
know what I'm
that
saying?
Something went terribly wrong.
We could
Going
use
back
that
to the
right now.
first trailer, this big
Anyways.
monkey doesn't necessarily come across as a protector of humanity, but rather someone with an acquired
The
taste
frozen
for
ice,
killing
the
humanity.
frozen lake, whatever.
Another big plot
Ocean.
indicator is this clip with Gia, who apparently has some sort of visions. In the trailer, it is implied that there is a sort of signal coming from somewhere deep inside the Earth. She feels something happening, and also Kong and Godzilla. So,
I don't know if
hold
that's
on a
the
second.
arm. Now that I
Why
see it
can
moving like
she
that
feel
on the
it, but
shadow
not
on
other
his back,
humans?
Kong?
Quick theory for you.
I don't know.
Any species, being Titan or human, that comes from the Hollow Earth or whose ancestors live there will have developed a sixth sense for Hollow Earth or Titan-instigated phenomena.
Okay.
This includes sensing nearby Titans, such as the instance when Gia knew Godzilla was about to pull up before the fleet's alarms went off in
Right,
GDK.
so what is he saying?
Oh, and Kong felt this too. Similarly, Godzilla, Kong, and Gia are mentioned to feel this signal.
So why
Not
is-
only that, but are also afraid of it.
Is Gia from
Now,
Hollow
it's a
Earth?
bit out of character
Who knows?
for Godzilla and Kong to be scared of anything, but in this film, we run into a big surprise. The surprises continue when we break down Gia's vision here. We'll go frame by frame. Pay close attention.
Yeah, we've
The
seen
digital
this one,
clock
so I
here
don't think we're gonna
glitches
miss
into
anything here.
pyramids. Ring a bell yet? Oh,
It's all the
not just
pyramids.
these, also these. But it is possible that these, however many
Ooh,
there might be,
I didn't see
could have
those.
some sort of link or function when opening this portal.
See, this is
here.
why we watch all
This
the
Hollow Earth
reviews, all the
civilization
breakdowns.
May be having their hands on some advanced tech that is completely different from anything else.
I remember
we know
seeing
of
that in
here on the
trailer one.
surface. Moving along to the next couple frames, and we see Gia wearing the same ceremonial garment we saw in the previous trailer. But it seems as if we are actually seeing the awakening
That
of
thing is
another
straight up, by the
well-known
way.
Titan.
The thing she's
That
climbing up?
has absolutely every
good
single
off that.
reason to show up in this film.
Pass
Who
out.
are we talking about? Another couple of frames forward and see for
Mothra.
yourself. Yep. Ladies and gents, this is no other than Mothra reappearing right
I'm
before
hyped.
our very eyes. So yes,
See, I
these
missed that in the
pyramids,
first trailer.
Apart from having some sort of link with strange Hollow Earth
The other day.
phenomenon, this place may just be where Mothra laid her egg immediately after hatching in King of the Monsters. If you don't know,
Could be.
even if Mothra dies, which she did in 2019, all her memories and consciousness will pass to the next generation telepathically.
So it's basically
this
another Mothra.
is
Same thing.
technically the reincarnated version of the one that died in 2019.
Okay, bet.
Something that appears like her egg casing also appears later on in the trailer, suggesting that she had maybe already hatched into
That
her
does-
larval
okay,
form,
that does look a
only
lot like
cocooning
that
to
one.
her winged form in this film. Another few frames and we see the G-Men in a form we haven't seen before. We've gotten really close, but not like this. So much energy comes out of Godzilla in this clip.
This man was hyped.
Godzilla's nuclear pulse, seen in King of the Monsters.
The nuclear pulse, brother.
Isn't the thermonuclear pulse, but a pulse similar to the one that killed Muto Prime in Godzilla Aftershock. Energy buildup inside Godzilla's body allows him to send a devastating pulse in all directions, capable of destroying aircraft, even killing anything nearby. This, without a doubt, is his most powerful state, while in his blue
Bro, it looks so good. The blue in between all the, you know, the dorsal plates looks sick.
Coloration that spans the entirety of his body. We'll return to the other half of Gia's vision and move on to
That's how you know things are about to get crazy.
See in the previous trailer analysis and speculated to be a Hollow Earth entry point, and now this is confirmed. Now, this portal seems to have several energy conduits that possibly artificially activate.
See, we didn't see all that last time.
The need of a Titan to be present.
I just saw the water and the thing sticking out of it.
Crossing the energy veil, it seems like humanity has gotten the hang of Hollow Earth entry. Down here is where Kong lives, full time, or is supposed to, until a sequence of events that will change his life forever. Starting with the acquaintance of this little fella right here. Suko, a juvenile member of a great ape clan. Kong seems to have become fond of this little fella since it would have been the first time he saw another live member of his own kind ever since he witnessed his own parents die.
So I wonder if they're just going to go ahead and meet in the beginning, because he didn't look hurt there, and he didn't have the glove, so
some who seem to
that'll be early on in the movie.
Their own will, and others who make up the ranks of a great ape army led by, yep, Scar King.
That man.
So now we have some sort of
there goes that man.
Scar King is not alone, but also is accompanied by members of a more or less similar species reigning over an empire of blood.
So I still need to know how/why Shimo is on Scar King's side.
We see them square off, but first we must raise the question, why? Well, there must have been something that happened in between that probably pissed off Kong. Maybe the mistreatment of the other Kongs, maybe Scar King verbally humiliates him.
Probably all of it.
Anything.
Probably all of
it.
it.
Is that they clash, and we finally get to see Scar King's whip in action. As mentioned in a previous episode,
I love this.
It takes a proficient wielder to use a whip with deadly purpose. Using the whip,
you know how sometimes movies make the big people, creatures, monsters, they like move slow?
This entire weapon.
Not this movie.
Here we see the
they are moving.
A crystal. This one is sharp. Once pulled backwards, this turns into a whip blade and cuts Kong's hand. We'll probably have to guess that in this confrontation, Kong gets bested and introduced to Scar King's secret weapon. This memeable reaction is quite adequate for what Kong is about to meet. This right here is Titanus Shimo, the newest addition to the MonsterVerse's roster.
How did Call of Duty know it before anybody else?
Blue eyes, an indicator that this thing has abilities to your pants over, and the trailer wastes no time showcasing this. Kong is seemingly thrown to Shimo's den to be executed and gets a taste of Shimo's frostbite blast. A unique, completely fictional ability exclusive to Shimo that seems to have no equivalent in real life. Imagine getting shot by a freeze laser powered by energy and liquid nitrogen together,
it'd be over with.
Capable of freezing anything it comes into contact with. Interestingly, this energy can still be blocked, and some would say absorbed to some extent.
I don't know about blocked. I mean, it's the axe. You know what I'm saying? It maybe absorbs the energy, but maybe it breaks the axe.
Axe is made of a Gojira dorsal plate that absorbs atomic blasts. The fact that this axe absorbs some of this energy may signify Shimo shares some characteristics with the Gojira species.
True.
We actually may get some sort of confirmation as to what happened to Kong's arm, and the thing that caused him to get this beast glove. If you look closely, you'll see that this frostbite blast injured his arm. A side effect from frostbite is that your muscles will stop working properly. In many cases, those muscles will
I didn't see it doing anything to his arm.
We aren't sure if Kong's arm will never again work properly without the
Could have been that way, though.
glove. After all, Titan biology is drastically different than that of humans. But we'll guess that the main function of this bio-enhanced anatomic seismic thunder glove not only
I'm not going to remember all that, but we're still calling it Beast.
Makes his attacks
the Beast glove.
Shimo did do quite some damage to Kong with just one blast. Back to Gia's vision.
One blast, by the way.
Shimo
That's it.
Here. This frame captures Scar King, Kong, who seems to be in the middle of a portal or yet another.
So that's Kong. He looks tiny there. I thought it was Zuko.
Colossal Shimo. Yeah, this thing is huge. It's on all fours and rivals the height of Godzilla himself.
I feel like when Kong was looking behind him and looking up, it's got to be a Shimo.
To freeze the surrounding
it has to be, bro.
As seen here on the coast of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Because if he stands up like that,
and Scar King will use this emergence point to invade the surface. surface. It is here where Godzilla, Kong, Shimo, and Scar King will have a 2v2 confrontation.
Little
The fight to
2v2?
defend the surface. Yeah,
Sick.
for an issue that originated in the Hollow Earth, this has become Godzilla's problem now. Later in this trailer, we do hear that Godzilla and Kong aren't necessarily friends, and we've been saying
we
that
knew
for
that,
a
though,
while
yeah.
on this channel.
We've been saying
Seems
that.
as if Kong will inquire for help from a not-so-receptive Godzilla.
They're not
who happens
friends,
to
they
be in
just, you know,
Egypt, explaining why Godzilla
there's a
is
bigger
going
issue.
trigger-happy with Kong once again. Somehow, by whatever means or mediation necessary, Kong and Godzilla will have to once again work together to bring
Maybe he
down
just
this
got too
new
hyped
threat.
after he
But
evolved
hold on a second.
and hit the
Godzilla
breath?
has already evolved here, suggesting that somewhere in the middle of the film, Godzilla will evolve to a
Or maybe
more
Kong did
evolved
something that he
form
didn't
as
like?
a response to that signal we mentioned earlier. Something was up, and Godzilla was only getting ready, evolving to a new and one of his most radioactive and potentially
So
powerful
good.
forms yet. There's still more to cover. Gia's vision reveals something about Scar King and Shimo that will be a huge factor throughout this story.
Okay, I
If you
didn't see
look
this one.
closely
Hold
at
up.
these frames, you'll see that Scar King's blue glowing eyes and Shimo's are somewhat synced. Here is where the mystery of the glowing eye effect on Scar King may be revealed. It seems as if this eye glow may be some sort of indicator of Scar King's influence on Shimo.
Maybe he's
An
got, like,
influence
mind
enforced
control?
by the possession of this crystal, seemingly taken from Shimo itself.
Or because of the crystal.
This also may explain how Scar King was able to amass such a large army by using Shimo to punish those who don't submit.
That makes
Towards
sense.
the end, we have more fun sequences with a couple of frames showing Shimo in action, Kong throwing punches at Scar King's face, knocking his teeth out. That is one big tooth, dude. Maybe
I totally
karma
thought
for
it was a
knocking out
claw.
one of Kong's teeth earlier. This whip proves to be useful yet again by being able to coil around and hurl entire chunks
So
of buildings
sick.
accurately towards Kong. This Beast Glove is seen in action for the first time here, breaking through tons of
And you can see,
concrete,
like, the lightning
metal,
in the building when he
people
punches
maybe, without a problem.
Woo!
This is random, but did you catch Zuko getting held up here by
Oh, yeah,
Scar
we saw
King?
that. We saw
That's
that in the
right,
first
this
one.
scrappy fella joins the fight as well. Also in the Hollow Earth, seen hurling a giant boulder right at another Kong's
Let's go,
face.
Zuko!
Ah, that's right, folks. We'll finally get to see a full-on fight in the Hollow Earth. Potentially even
I'm so
Godzilla,
excited, man.
Kong,
So
Scar
excited.
King, and Shimo floating around in a battle royale that defies all the laws of physics.
I cannot wait. March 29th is the date. Let me know if you're going to be there. I'm totally in there. Thank you for watching with me. I will see you all tomorrow. I love ya. Goodbye.